Well folks, here we are. I have finally covered every single monster manual with one exception, and it's the monster that started it all. And by that I mean the first monster I ever made a dedicated monster video for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. And the thing is, the monster manuals weren't even out when I initially made the video for the monster in question. As you have no doubt been able to tell by the thumbnail and title of this video, today we will be going over the monster manual for Biollante. Now, Biollante is an interesting case. Though I was right in assuming that she is one of the most popular monsters that they could have added to this project, I was at the time unaware. I had not in fact watched any gameplay of Godzilla Save the Earth Plus, which was basically the predecessor mod to Godzilla Save the Earth Melee that basically just kind of touches up the vanilla version of the game and just kind of polishes over the rough edges, and then on top of that, it adds Biollante to the game in a form that's not exactly 100% refined or complete, but the fact is you can actually select her to be playable, so you can definitely see where the Godzilla Save the Earth Melee project got its start, which I mean is literally what it was, because the team that developed Save the Earth Plus basically realized if they did anything else they were basically going to be making a new game, so that's why it turned into Save the Earth Melee. Now, I'm not going to go over some of the stuff that I went over in that original Biollante video, mostly because I'm going to focus more on the gameplay and so on and so forth in this video. So if you care enough to, I'd recommend watching that video because my editing style definitely wasn't as good in it, but my passion for the subject matter is still there, so, and I mean I'm still me. I don't mean to be mean. I'm curious what the moveset page in this manual is going to cover, because given that I've watched Dargon Evo play some of the Godzilla Save the Earth Plus on his own channel, it left me with some questions about how Biollante is going to play, and it was actually rather interesting. But let's just get to the manual. We don't have to spin a roulette wheel or anything, because obviously there aren't any other choices yet. I've already done a roster prediction video, and I landed on a choice for who I think the last remaining unknown character is on the manual select screen, so maybe I'll do that. I haven't really nailed down a plan as to what I'm going to do to kind of fill in this slot in my video schedule, but that's an idea, so maybe I'll do that. Anyway, does anyone see any of that glitter falling from the sky around us? I wonder what that could be. Been quite the road to get here, folks. We have covered a lot of stuff in my videos. This video was technically recorded in the past on June 28th, 2024, so it is likely that in the future this screen will look different because they're probably going to add additional monsters. But for now, Biollante is the last one we have to go over. As a result of the Godzilla Save the Earth Plus project, I am not surprised that there are two works in progress frames for Biollante, because much like Batra, I imagine Biollante was one of the first monsters that they decided to start working on for this project, and obviously Save the Earth Plus before it. 30 years later, however, Biollante's spores have recently returned to Earth. Godzilla vs. Biollante came out in 1989, so I think it takes place in 1990. I haven't watched it in a while, so that might not be correct, but here we go with the timeline implications. If we presume it was 1990, 30 years from then is 2020, so this means that Godzilla Save the Earth Melee technically takes place in our past. I imagine this bio was written a few years prior to now. That isn't a problem. I don't really see any harm in it technically taking place quote unquote in the past. I mentioned the Marvel document that me and my brother have worked worked on a lot in these videos, and we basically decided, yeah, it sits in a particular point in time, and you don't worry yourself too much about constantly adjusting the timeline of events to fit new media. I do like that idea that we aren't sure if Biollante still has a shred of humanity in her or not. Okay, I'm curious to hear what Biollante sounds like in the game. So we're gonna listen to her intro, roar, and music, and then I'll go to the moveset. I definitely approve of the choices for the roars because I've always felt like Biollante's roars in Godzilla Unleashed, I don't want to say dainty because I feel like that's not appropriate, but they definitely did not have the menace and kaiju-ness of Godzilla in them. And the music choice for that intro was very good. Okay, now on to the moveset, which I definitely did not record and then cut out. Yeah, that's right, she was 40% complete, but due to scheduling, they had to basically scrap her in the process of making her. Biollante requires a lot of work to be ready for inclusion. I think most Godzilla fans would agree it's probably going to be worth the wait. Some sparing things can be sourced from Unleashed. So, Gojirex left a comment on my original Biollante video, which is probably going to be the only one he ever comments on ever again. And he mentioned that the X, Y, and Z axes for Biollante's model and her animations in Godzilla Unleashed are transformed or flipped in some manner, and thus they can't just go, oh, take that from Godzilla Unleashed and take this from Godzilla Unleashed and put it into Save the Earth Melee. Yeah, based on the gameplay that I saw on Dargon Evo's channel of Godzilla Save the Earth Plus, the size and length of her vines definitely seems like they gotta put a lot of work into that, at least based off of what's available in Save the Earth Plus. I totally sympathize with that because, wow, it has to be seen to be believed. Yeah, she does seem quite unfinished from the gameplay that I have referenced a number of times at this point. Yeah, she's gonna require a lot of work, so I understand if it takes forever for them to put her in the game. Excuse me, what? I definitely do not remember reading this moveset page because that last sentence hit like a doozy. We even want her turret appendage moves to incorporate Rose Biollante somehow. What? What does turret appendage moves mean? Like, seriously, I don't know what that means. Oh, I just realized she has a 10 out of 10 utility score. My first question is, oh, why? My second question is, oh, why? Okay, skin time. I'm just happy that I'll be able to watch Goji Fan 93's complete video going over all of the monster manuals after this because I haven't been able to watch the whole thing because I haven't wanted to be spoiled about the skins. Although I imagine she doesn't have the full gamut of skins, so I could always have to come back, right? Okay, Biollante based on her film appearance. Wilting, that looks like it's from Godzilla Unleashed Overhaul, which if I'm being completely honest, it doesn't probably do it very much justice because I imagine the new updated Biollante model will probably look a lot better with a wilting color scheme than the Godzilla Unleashed model could ever hope to look. Dead Flower. It's based on a Daikasen alt color. I like that one. Trendmasters. There was a Trendmasters model of Biollante. Oh, it was from the 90s. Purpleante. Well, I like the way that icon looks. Red Rage, same deal. Ooh, I like Chaotic Blue. Pink Plante. Those are good recolors. Bone Plant. That one's just pure white. I like that one too. They did a really good job with the recolor roster for Biollante. Biollante DS, so that's the double smash model, which if I'm being completely honest, I wish I knew how that would look because I feel like based on the artwork, that one's gonna be goofy looking, but I'm just glad they're putting all the double smash models in the first place. And then Save the Earth Classic, I think that's the one that's in Godzilla Save the Earth Plus at the moment. And there's only one open spot, so unfortunately this video probably won't be that long. My suggestion should be fairly obvious. I went went over Wikizilla right before this recording session, so the fact is I only found one that I could really get behind. Oh, wait a minute, no, there's two. Well, actually, no, scrap that. It's only gonna be one. But one of the other images that I saved while I was on Wikizilla, I want to talk about it. So I have talked a lot of smack about the Godzilla Unleashed model for Biollante, but they're preserving most of the Godzilla Save the Earth and Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee models for all the different kaiju that have been in the Pipeworks trilogy. So it's only fair to include the Godzilla Unleashed model of Biollante, especially since they're including the Double Smash version. So if they didn't put this one in, it would be kind of a smack in the face. Not really a whole lot else to say. This is the only skin that I really think they're missing at the moment, and if I were to guess, maybe the only reason it's not included in the monster manual at the moment is because, like I said, Gojirex said that there are some funky things about importing stuff from Godzilla Unleashed to Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. So it might be that the model for Biollante in Godzilla Unleashed does not port over so straightforwardly. I don't know, but that's just my theory. Okay, just before I let everybody go and class finishes for the day, I do want to talk about what I noted about Biollante within the context of Godzilla Save the Earth Plus. And just so I have a picture to go up with this, I'll skip right to the big thing that I want to talk about. In Godzilla Save the Earth Plus, you can pick Biollante up like you would any other character. And from what it seems like you can do all your throws and stuff kind of the same as any other character. I imagine that is going to be changed for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. I don't know what you would do exactly, but I would imagine Biollante should basically just not be grabbable at all. Biollante is, as the monster manual stated, one of, if not the biggest kaiju in existence, and in fact I think Biollante is the tallest Godzilla monster, right? So feasibly none of the monsters should be able to pick her up. Now I include this image because in one of the various manga, Heisei Godzilla is capable of picking Biollante up, and it obviously looks a little bit ridiculous. Me and my younger brother love this image because it really just emphasizes how absolutely insanely strong this version of Godzilla is. But I really don't think that in Godzilla Save the Earth Melee that any monster should be able to pick Biollante up, let alone throw her. But it was worth noting. Also, there is a thing in Godzilla Save the Earth Plus that I noticed that I didn't really understand, but I've come to kind of like the idea of. And in Save the Earth Plus, you can basically make what I would call Biollante crystals. Kind of like how Space Godzilla can uproot crystals from the ground and place them in the environment. In Save the Earth Plus, Biollante is capable of plopping down like a single tendril that just kind of undulates in place. I don't know if it does anything. I didn't see it do anything in Godzilla Save the Earth Plus based on the gameplay that I watched, but I like the idea. Maybe that's what the manual was talking about with the turret appendages. That's the only thing I can think it was referring to. Again, I don't know how they're going to play into her game plan. Oh, and actually, real quick, I forgot to mention this. One of Biollante's throws in Godzilla Save the Earth Plus is awesome. Basically, you know, she grabs you with her mouth, her jaw, but she basically goes like hammer time with the enemy kaiju that she's grabbing and just goes bop, 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 and then throws them with her jaw. It's so awesome. The other throw is like she tosses them up in the air and then does like this, and then they fall and hit the ground. That one I'm not really the biggest fan of, but that's also not a bad throw idea. I just would never use it. Just to close everything out, I have the comment from Gojirex from my original Biollante video here, and I'm just gonna go through it and read it again and see if there's anything I can think of to talk about. So her core gameplay plan, at least from this comment from Gojirex from 2 months ago, is to basically be a ranged fighter where she's not gonna want to get super close to you. Basically, she's gonna juggle you in between various distances with varying vine moves, obviously with different ranges of damage and combo potential. But at the end of it, she's gonna launch you outside of her range, or at least her immediate range, and then rinse and repeat. Yeah, Biollante does not want you to be close to her, because she's extremely big and extremely slow. And at least Gojirex listened to my complaints in that original video, because I complained a lot about the whole stilt jump thing that Biollante was capable of doing in Godzilla Unleashed, and from what I remember, she was capable of doing in Godzilla Save the Earth Plus. And I just want to say I really approve of the concept here, where instead of jumping, she basically just like tilts her head up and like looks up to the sky, because I mean, she doesn't need to jump. Something that big does not need to jump, and especially with something with that much mass, I don't even know if you could feasibly have her jump. I mean, I know we're already suspending our disbelief to have Godzilla and his friends jumping like they do in Godzilla Save the Earth, but Biollante is just a bridge too far. And yeah, like I said, at least at the time I'm recording this video on June 28th, they don't really have a way to port over the Godzilla Unleashed animations to her. And you know what? I'm glad Gojirex agreed with me that Biollante is inevitable.
I am inevitable.
Overall, I'm looking forward to seeing what Biollante actually looks like in Godzilla Save the Earth Melee when we inevitably do get her in it. I feel like she's going to be one of those characters that's going to get an entire, like, live-streamed presentation. Because next to Titanosaurus, I think she's the most important monster to add to Godzilla Save the Earth. Although, like I said, I think Biollante is the more prominent of the two of them. I feel like Biollante is always the centerpiece of Godzilla roster predictions and stuff. Like, everyone wants Biollante, so I have no doubt that they're going to add Biollante, and it might just take a long time, but it will happen. So have faith, everyone. Anyways, that about does it. Thank you for everyone who has been on this journey to cover all the monsters and all the different monster manuals. Remember, I'm still gonna do one more of these for Godzilla 2000, which might seem like a backwards thing to do, considering that his reveal was basically the thing that jump-started my channel, so maybe I should have done him first. But for the moment, we've covered everyone but Godzilla 2000, and I thank everyone who watches these videos and has commented, liked, and subscribed. I really appreciate that I'm able to talk about Godzilla with other people that appreciate him just as much as me. And I have to say thank you to the development team for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, because on some level, I only started recording YouTube videos on a regular basis because of their project. Anyways, that's about it. Catch you on the flip side, guys.